Hey guys, I'm hoping that this video will help you diagnose your own injuries and recover from them faster. Kind of the way it works as basketball athletes is we're always getting hurt. Friday I jammed my left thumb. I took a knee to knee and I got a little kick on my ankle, and it's just a matter of how fast I can recover from these injuries, right? If I know what to do, then I'll be back on the court in 2 or 3 days and be more athletic than I was before. If I don't know what to do, these things can add up, lead to chronic injuries, and I just go into decline. So it's just an issue of information, really, knowing what to do and knowing what to do the right things. So to help you guys diagnose your own injuries and recover from them faster, I'm going to tell you guys about an injury that I felt I had on Wednesday that seemed like something could be really, really concerning, and I believe could have turned into something serious if I didn't have the tools to diagnose it myself and resolve it almost immediately. So Wednesday was like my really heavy day for me in terms of exercise. I spent a couple hours warming up in the field in the morning. In the evening I ran sprints, competitive racing against people. Did Olympic lifts, front squat, and clean and jerk, and I did a pretty nasty dunk session followed by 5 pickup games of basketball. Just absurd. And the whole time I was feeling a little bit of discomfort behind my knee, like the top of my hamstring, and I woke up on Thursday super painful. It was felt really tight. And any kind of retracting motion, which obviously is important in running and all this, was pretty painful. And it's alright, well, what's going on? There was no moment of injury. I don't know what's causing this. This is how am I supposed to resolve this? What's going on, basically? It's one of those mysterious injuries, a feeling of tightness and weakness. And I got to thinking, maybe my hamstring's imbalanced, it's weak because I do all this jumping. My quads are strong, and since I lower myself down from the rim, maybe my hamstrings are not as strong, and that's what's going on. So I tested that theory by lying on my belly, and I did have a friend do this, but I didn't need to have a friend. Basically having him straighten my leg out while I resist. This is called an eccentric lift, or I can use my foot to do it. So it's like this, the top foot's pushing down, and I'm resisting. And I found that was pretty painful. This doesn't feel as bad right now. And that indicated to me that my hamstring is indeed weak, and that is a point of potential recovery. Now, later in that day, I went to a gym that I have where I've got a hot tub with massage jets. If you don't have something like that, that's totally fine. There's other ways to go about it. But the benefit of this is I can scour my body with these massage jets and kind of search for points of weakness and tightness. So obviously one of the first places I look is I put the massage jets over my hamstrings. Wow, super painful. And that was surprising and awesome, because what that means is I have potentially micro tears in my hamstring, which really just means I worked out my hamstrings and now they need a day to recover. But it also means there's potentially fascial adhesions, or knots, basically, knots in my hamstrings, and all I have to do is break down these knots, and I can do that by applying pressure. With the massage jets, you're throwing a baseball on the ground and rolling around on the baseball, and what that will do is open up my previously tight hamstrings, which will release my knee around here. So that's what I've been doing, and it's basically resolved within a couple days. So something that could have, if I didn't have the proper knowledge, become some kind of chronic and mysterious injury, instead was quickly resolved. So hope this helps you if you have any kind of injuries. First things I would do is look for weakness and tightness in muscles around the area. And the way I look for weakness and tightness, first for weakness is obviously moving through a motion with resistance, especially eccentric, because I don't know, maybe that's made up. I really got into lowering or eccentric lifts as a way of dealing with tendonitis, and there's some science that says that eccentric lifts are like basically good for recovery or good for breaking down fascial adhesions or knots. And then that's, I mean, how I would look for weakness and how I would look for tightness is if you don't have massage jets or whatever, if you have a medicine ball or an old basketball or a baseball or whatever, roll around on it and look in nearby areas, and when you find knots, attack those. And that'll, I mean, hopefully resolve those injuries. So hope that helps you guys. I mean, I'm feeling bouncy. Like, I've had all kinds of injuries this year, but I'm usually able to identify and resolve them very quickly, which gets me back on the court in a couple of days, jumping higher than I was the previous time. So that's what it's all about as basketball players. We try to prevent, and when it happens, we got to identify, know the right things to do, and resolve them. And what I'm not doing is I'm not resting, sitting on my ass, waiting for it to go away, because that's not the way it works. We have to be active in identifying for recovery. The body does not just heal. Movement is part of the healing process, and we need to find the right ways to move. I'm also not icing. I made a video recently on icing. I don't believe in that, and I just don't think that that's really what it is. I just think that movement is the key to all things recovery related. So I hope that helps you guys recover from your injuries, get back to the court running faster, jumping higher.